Hi everyone, I hope you're all okay. Happy Friday, it's almost the weekend. So in today's English lesson, we are going to be having a little look at grammar and punctuation again. So we're going to be looking at the plural and possessive s. So we're going to look at how with nouns, we will add an s to say that something is plural, to say that there is more than one of something. And we will also look at how we add apostrophe s to a noun if we want to show that that person or that thing owns or possesses something. So if you possess something, you own it, you have it. So that is why it's called the possessive s. So let's start. Let's start just by looking at plural, the plural s. So plural stands for more than one. So it's when we're talking about more than one thing. So imagine you are in a park and there is no one around and you see a person walking their dog. Now, if it was singular, you would just have dog. That is your singular noun. However, if you are looking to be plural and you want, if there are lots of dogs in the park, then you will add an s on the end of dog so that we know that there is more than one dogs. So it'd be dogs. So same for garden, talking about one garden, garden, talking about many gardens. How many gardens are there in the street? Then you're going to add that s on the end so that we know that you are talking about more than one. Oh, I've circled the end there. And then handbag, if you were talking about one handbag, there would be no s. Talking about numerous handbags, many handbags, then you will add that s on the end. So let's have a little bit of a look at singular possession. So that is when one thing owns something. So singular stands for single, one, possession stands for to possess. So to have or own something. So let's have a look at this sentence up here. School's new teacher. So the new teacher belongs to the school, which is singular. So we're just talking about one school. We're not talking about lots of schools and their new teachers. We're just talking about a specific school. Okay. To form the possession of a singular noun, you need to add an apostrophe followed by the letter s. Okay. So you've got your letter s here and your apostrophe here. So here, let's have a look again. So singular, plural, just as we had a look before, and we've got some examples of the singular possession in a sentence. So instead of many dogs' fur, we're talking about just one dog's fur, and that is written with the apostrophe s. Okay. Now, the way I sometimes, a good way of reminding yourself of the apostrophe s is this. So if something has something or, owns something, this is what I usually think. So the dog, let's have a look, the dog's fur. So you could say that the dog's fur was brown. If you said the dog has fur, you know that the dog owns that fur. It is their fur. So you could get rid of the has and just have an apostrophe s, okay? And then you've also got the garden's flowers were pretty. You could say the garden has pretty flowers. So if something has something, then, or owns something, it usually means you're going to need to use an apostrophe s to show that they possess that thing. So here we've got the garden's flowers were pretty because the garden, we're just talking about one specific garden, and we're talking about how the flowers belong to that garden. Here we've got the handbag's handles were big. We're talking about one specific handbag, and we're talking about the specific handles on that bag that bag owns. Okay, so I hope this makes sense so far. Now, sometimes people have arguments over whether we should use the apostrophe s. Now, we are going to make sure that we are using an apostrophe s to show that a noun has something, to show that a noun owns something. Okay? So here you could say the cactus's spikes were very sharp. The bus's coat of paint was red. James's cars could go really fast. Do you notice that when we pronounce them, when we say James's or buses, we almost have an extra S, don't we? So it's not the bus coat of paint was red. We say the bus's coat of paint was red. And that is usually another good clue as to whether you should add an apostrophe S. Okay. So again, we're going to follow the rule where you add an apostrophe S. So we are going to write the word as we would speak it, okay? So as I said before, when you pronounce things and that belong to someone, you usually pronounce the S. So here, for example, it doesn't just say Mr. Jones Golf Clubs, Mr. Jones's Golf Clubs, because that is how we would say it. And there are some other ways of plurals as well, of writing plurals, but we'll look into that another time. Let's just focus on the possessives this lesson. Possessive and plurals, sorry. So here you've got a little activity and I would like you to spot the plural or the possessive based on what we've just had a look. So if you could pause the video here, what I might do is just make these slightly bigger for you. There you go. Pause the video here and I want you to decide whether the S's are used in a plural sense or a possessive sense. So are they talking about the fact that there is more than one of those things, or are they talking about the fact that something owns something? Okay, so pause the video now and have a go and I'll come back and we can go through it together. Good luck. Hi everyone, so I hope you got an okay with that activity. I'm going to get my highlighter out, and for plural I'm going to use green, and for possessive I'm going to use blue. So let's have a look at the first one. So the dog's lead was held tightly by the owner. Now this one is a possessive because we've used the apostrophe and the S, and we're talking about the fact that it is the dog's lead. We're not saying that two dogs have one lead. We're talking about the fact that the dog has a lead. So an apostrophe S has been used. After the game of rugby, the boy's jumper was all muddy. Again, we've got the apostrophe S because we are talking about the boy's jumper. And he owns that jumper. That is his. It's not two boys' jumper, it's only his. The bees and butterflies loved the bright flowers. Okay, so here we are talking about more than one bee and more than one butterfly, okay? We're not talking about the flowers being theirs. We're just saying that they loved the bright flowers and there was more than one of them. Okay, so you can see that the S has been added on. With butterflies, it's slightly different because obviously it would be B-U-T-T-E-R-F-L-Y. We've actually got an I-E-S. So you do find that with some words. Again, we will have a look at that another time. The roundabouts were spinning wildly. So we're talking about one roundabout here, and they might be talking, several roundabouts here, and they might be talking about roundabouts at a fair. So on a fairground ride, and they go round and round. The sound of the gardener's whistle could be heard over the hedge. So here we're talking about the gardener and his whistle. So it is his, he owns it, he possesses that whistle. And we're not talking about the fact that more than one gardener is whistling. So that would be a possessive. Okay, let's move on. So you've got two things that I would like you to have a go at. So you can have a go at this last one if you feel you would like to challenge yourself. So with this one here, this sheet, I will upload it to the home learning website. You have got the short form with apostrophe. So you have got the short form of the possessive used. And I would like you to make it longer. I'll put both of these up here so you can have a go at both of them. You might want to challenge yourself actually to this one here because it's got missing parts and it is slightly longer. So here you've got the short form with the apostrophe and you need to write it into a longer sentence. So for example, the boy's shoes. So it might be the shoes that the boy the shoes belonging to the boy. And then here you've got the drink belonging to the boy. And then you've got to write the short form with the correct apostrophe. So this one might be the boy's drink. Okay, so it's showing you how that person owns something. Okay, and then if you would like to challenge yourself, you could have a go, use this image, and you could have a go at writing a couple of sentences using possessive apostrophes and plurals. So you might want to talk about the leaves, the conkers. It was the boy's conker. The boy's feet were kicking leaves into the air. The girl's wellies were brown. So see if you can think of a couple of sentences to show you using the plural or possessive S. I hope you get on with this all okay. If you want to email, if you've got any questions, then feel free to send them over. Okay, so good luck, take care, and have a good weekend. Bye.